Sean O'Connor here from Macabre Daily, and I am thrilled to have two of the funniest people, and I've only known them now for 4 minutes, two of the funniest people I've ever met, Dennis Cahlo and Bethany Watson, who have created and directed, co-directed, am I right?
Yes, co-directed, yeah.
The Trouble with Tessa on Screambox. And all I have to say is, and I know this gets overused so much, and I'm going to apologize right now for doing it, chef's kiss. Oh, good.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Being huge fans of the show and Macabre Daily, it's an honor that you even like it. So we're very excited to be hearing that people are enjoying the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Dennis, I'm gonna go one step further, and I hope I don't make it immediately awkward. I didn't just like it; I loved it.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. That makes it's a relief as the creators and co-creators and
of course.
showrunners to hear that.
Yeah.
It really, really is truly.
It leans into so many things that I love, and I think as a horror fan, so many horror fans love, which is, this idyllic small town, and it's kind of like, turn the rock over, and there's all the nastiness underneath. And you both do such an incredible job of slowly bringing the viewer into that. And look, this is going to be a spoiler-free discussion, which is monumentally hard for me because I have a big mouth. But I have the miracle of editing. So if I make a I'll just take it right out. But you manage to not only dial up the dread, also a little bit Lynchian, if I may.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a huge compliment.
Yeah, big compliment.
Yeah.
Little bit Lynchian, and also like a folklore vibe, which I love. And then we get to the Bone King, and then it's just like, well, all bets are off.
Yeah.
So
It goes sideways.
No one's tuned in to hear me talk. So let me ask some questions.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Take me through the inception of who had the idea, where to come from, and then, take me through the hard yards of actually getting it to Screambox and getting it there for all of us to see.
Yeah.
Well, it was, we were Bloody Bites filmmakers. So Tony Wash, who I think
I do.
he programs Bloody Bites. And
This goes out to Tony, by the way.
Yeah, hearts to Tony.
Shout out,
Tony. He saw Lonely Hearts, and they started wanting to do original programming over at Screambox after the big Terrifier 3 hoopla that happened. They were like, we really should do something original.
Yeah.
So they were like, Tony, go tap the short filmmakers from Bloody Bites and see who can come up with a pitch. And so he had us come up with 3 pitches. And one of them that really sat with all of us was one that I had come up with called A Noise in the Attic, about a woman who moves into a rural town, finds a box of tapes, and a mystery unfurls. And so that one, we ended up winning out of everyone.
Yeah.
We did a faux trailer. Like, we really put our all into it, and we won the pitch. And so we started from there. We hired Will Rogers as our writer, who is lore king.
He's
and cliffhanger king. Like, the guy is just fantastic at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we just, all 4 of us just developed it from there.
Yeah, it was great. And one of the things that we were grateful for Will for is that he has a heavy audio background, as do I, as does Dennis. And so the 3 of us were really able to use audio as a way to bridge any gaps, because it's low budget, and anyone who does low budget filmmaking knows that there's going to be some stuff you want to do that you can't do.
Yeah.
Because, car explode. There was at one point, do you remember, Dennis, in the script, at one point, the car was on fire.
Car was on fire.
So
that was my idea. I was like, we should set the car on fire. And then we were like, we can't set our car on fire.
We don't have that. We don't have fire. So we used audio for a lot of the stuff that we couldn't show people. And luckily with horror, as you know, the scariest thing is the thing you don't see. So
Absolutely.
We definitely were able to lean into a lot of listening, a lot of sounds in the woods that you are trying to figure out what they are. And that was A Noise in the Attic, which turned into The Trouble with Tessa, had that element to it the most. So that also kind of made it the most viable option.
Yeah, especially because we moved the big opening scene to the basement.
To the basement.
Couldn't be in the attic anymore. So.
It's so funny when you said a noise in the attic. I was like, did we ever get to the attic in the show?
No, we did not.
We were supposed to. There's a whole attic scene in the original script, and the day of we were looking at it. Mainly it was just the two of us on set. Like I was running everything, and Bethany, bless her heart, was doing everything else. And so, we were looking at the script, and we're like, "Hey, Katie Nugent, our lead who plays
Who's
Tessa,
fantastic, by the way.
Oh,
they're amazing.
Oh.
And so we were like, go take 5, and we look at the script, and we're like, how the hell are we going to shoot all this?
We had like 17 setups that we were supposed to do for this montage scene, and it's like Katie's going into the attic, Katie's going to the
Yeah.
And we're just sort of looking at each other. We got these dead stares, like we're never gonna get this done.
So that's how we came up with the rotating shot in episode 1. We were just like, let's just put it all in one shot and do it in one take.
Yeah.
And so
the attic became the basement.
I love the enthusiasm, and I've heard so many indie directors say the same thing. They're like, so we had 14 setups the first day. We realized we could do one.
I know.
yeah. Yeah.
I know, it's brutal. And you have all of these ideas, and the scripts had so many awesome incarnations. But the more the closer we got to actually, filming this thing, the more we realized, like, we don't have access to a bunch of children. We don't have a main street or like people peeking out of their front. We don't have front doors. Like, we don't have any of this.
There's a real challenge in like keeping everything contained, you know?
But just knowing the challenges that you faced and then eventually what we get, it's incredible. It really
thank
is.
you.
There's a as I was watching it, because I'm old as the hills, so I remember that there was a miniseries on.
For the record,
you're sweet people. There was a miniseries on ages ago, based off of Harvest Home by this author, Thomas Tryon. And because I stink at my job, of course, I can't remember what the miniseries was called, but it was based off that. And I just kept remembering it as I was watching The Trouble with Tessa, where you have an outsider.
Oh my
who's
gosh.
then injected.
Hold on, our phone
I'm
is
so
ringing.
sorry.
I'm so sorry.
sorry.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, this is great. I hope it's Tessa. Are you still in trouble? No.
Are you still in trouble?
I literally just hung up on whoever that was. I am so sorry.
No, this is fantastic because it honestly put me in Tessa's shoes as being Aaron. And then you were going to tell me, which, by the way, Dennis, is my favorite scene in the entire series, when you're on the phone and she keeps hanging up on you and you're like, everything you're talking about is a bad idea.
Yeah. Everyone connects to that scene. So like everyone's like, that's my favorite Aaron line of all time. Because that's what you want to yell at the person in the horror movie. And so that's why we wrote it in. We were like, everything you're doing is wrong. Like it's.
The phone calls were so great and they just escalate. But your initial, every time you and Tessa were talking and you were going, are you still in that town?
Yeah.
Which is
Why
a
are you still
very
there?
human reaction.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, Aaron is like the cop in Sinister. He's like the comic relief. He's like, but he's also like the audience. Bethany was a stickler for this. She was like, he's got to be the audience surrogate. Yeah. Every time Tessa makes a bad move, he's got to say, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So there is someone saying it besides the audience going, why are they making these stupid decisions? Like, why is Tessa doing this?
Yeah.
It's like to have someone on screen saying that is like, we kind of love that.
Horror audiences have been burned before so many times by seeing someone go into a basement that they shouldn't go into for someone that they've never met to try and save someone's life that they have no business saving. And so it was like we definitely needed the audience to know that we knew that Tessa was making a bad decision. But we also wanted to give the audience a reason that Tessa was making all these bad decisions. And, it's because their brain's a little different. And
they have OCD.
Yeah. And so, so Dennis was like, bless Dennis, he took on another role, which was literally a role, and
we ran out of money.
Yeah,
we were looking at the line budget, and I was like, wait, we forgot about Aaron. I was like, we don't have any more money left in the budget, and so Bethany and I look at each other, and I'm like, I'll do it.
Yep,
I'll be Aaron.
You gotta be Aaron.
So,
you did great. You
thanks.
did so well.
Thank you.
It was a great job.
Thank you. But you were saying about this series that
But hold on,
It's
Dennis. I need you to take a compliment, sir. You really are so great as Aaron.
Thank you.
You're the comic relief, but very much to your point, you are the audience surrogate, and everyone will be saying, completely understanding because of the way Tessa functions, completely understandable. But you need someone to be like, everything you're doing is so
stupid.
wrong.
Yeah.
Get the car and go.
Why are you getting drunk with the local murderer?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I mean, yes, and then when Tessa's like, "But I didn't drink," and you're like, "That's not the point."
Yeah.
My favorite line is when Tessa goes, "I plied him with it."
Plied
For
him.
some reason, that makes me laugh so hard. But it's just, I think that everyone has either been Tessa or Aaron in that situation, where either someone's been yelling at you as you hang up on them, or you've been yelling at someone as they hang up on you. So I think that it's a very relatable, and it like breaks the tension a little bit too, which is nice.
Yeah.
But Dennis's
100%.
character is fabulous.
100%. But my point being, I love, it's a great horror trope when you have an outsider injected into an idyllic setting and then just, chaos ensues, or maybe even doesn't. It's like that slow drip. And then by the time you get to the end, it really, explodes, so to speak. That's what we get here. Again, I feel myself getting into spoilers, and I don't want to go there because I want everybody to experience it like I did, episode by episode. By the way, length of the episode, perfect.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great.
Length of the episode is perfect. It gets you hooked, and you're immediately like, all right, well, I'm definitely going to the next one and the next one. And the way you end, okay, who was responsible for the cliffhanger like endings, or at least like the you can't go anywhere endings?
Yeah.
You end on the perfect spot each and every time.
Yeah. So that was our writer Will Rogers, who is like, his really strong suits are lore,
Monologues.
and monologues and like cliffhangers. So
Okay.
we would all come up with sort of a story idea, and sometimes we didn't know how characters were going to get from like A to D, and then we would get the script sent to us by Will, and it was just like, these cliffhangers were fantastic, and
They're
I think
so good.
they're great. And it's tough with 22-minute episodes because it feels so short. But I think the really smart thing that Screambox did was release them 2 at a time. So you're getting a 40-minute chunk of content, but you're still being forced initially to wait, which gives this episodic feel that we don't really get anymore. And we always saw Tessa as being like a paperback, like
Yes.
Yeah.
like a Stephen King
That's
paperback.
perfect.
Yeah.
So it feels like a couple chapters at a time, which was an awesome sort of happy accident that happened.
Yeah, and as a director, I really enjoy reading scripts, and so every time we would get one of William's scripts, I couldn't wait to see what the cliffhanger was.
Yeah.
And every time they just kept getting better and better. I'm like, man, this is so much fun. Like, and if you're having fun reading it, you're going to have fun watching it.
Yeah.
And so it was just a joy to get them every week and be
Yeah.
like, I can't wait to see what he does this week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And then there were some that we collaborated on, but he mainly came up with pretty much like all of them.
Yeah. He built a really solid framework. for the
Talented as
stories, which was
hell.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
totally.
yeah. He's great. He's great.
Yeah. Now that 22 minutes, it can work for you, which it definitely does with The Trouble with Tessa, but it could also work against you because, when you string them all together, sometimes, and not with this series, but sometimes that middle section can lag a little bit.
Yes.
That is not the case. You guys just take off, and it's a slow burn in the beginning, which I love, because I want you to take time so we can get to know the characters, get to know their backstory, feel like we know the world a little bit. And then as you go along, you're just dropping these breadcrumbs, and the mystery grows and grows and grows. And like I said, I mean, the viewers are going to be like, come on, man, enough already. Just tell us what the hell it is. By the time you get to the Bone King.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and
Yeah, dude.
I'll say this, and this is like a mild spoiler, but we don't, as filmmakers, we don't care about this being a spoiler, but I would say like what we loved about the setups was getting to episode 3, because episode 3 is where everything may I curse here?
Yo, fuck yeah.
So, okay, great. That's where the shit just hits the fan. Like, it becomes a completely different show.
Yeah.
In episodes 4, 5, and 6, it gets so dark. And so, like, this sort of quirky town that you're enjoying, and you're like, oh, this is fun and weird, kind of Twin Peaksy. Oh, at the end of episode 3, you're smacked in the face, and nothing is ever the same. And that's what made me so happy. It's like I call it the Barbarian effect, because like in Barbarian, as soon as she smashes the guy's head into the wall, the whole movie changes. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do the Barbarian effect, where it's like, wait, what? Oh no, like, oh, that happens? Oh no. No one's safe.
Yeah.
You nail it. You actually accomplish exactly what you wanted to do. It's so good, and you do get a completely different show from that point forward. Again, the actors that you have, everybody brings their A game, and it must have been so. I'm not saying that it wasn't a hard shoot, because they always are, long days.
Yeah.
You're figuring things out on the fly, but it looked like you were all having a lot of fun.
We truly were.
God.
Yeah. I mean, you can speak to the actors, because you are brilliant at that.
We got really lucky. So Matthew Maisto, who is an amazing casting agent, casting director. He cast the Terrifier movies.
Terrifier 3.
2 and 3, I think.
I think it was 3.
And he jumped on super early and was just like, I want to work with you guys. I want to help. And we became besties. We love Matthew. He is an artist. So Dennis found Katrin Nugent, who plays Tessa. Dennis had worked with Tessa
and
Katrin.
Corey, who plays our Trouble.
Exactly. And then the rest of the cast, with Simon the realtor, was a friend of Dennis's as well, who's been in your films before. But everybody else, we had to search for, and Matthew brought us just platters of these incredible actors, and we had to go non-union for budgetary reasons. And all of these actors are giving like union performances and have these amazing looks, and they all got what we were doing. They all understood that this is the tiny show that could. Like, we are going to try to shoot well above what we have any business doing. And they all jumped on board and just nailed it.
And they loved the script. And I think that that's a testament to making sure that you have really great dialogue for your actors, and really good character that's fleshed out through that dialogue. And we had a very good grasp on these characters. And you can get a sense of it when you're reading the scripts, and they really loved them. Like Maria Wolf, who plays our Betsy, who's unbelievable.
Awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable,
Awesome.
right? Like, she dove in and gave such a performance that there was times when we were watching it in the monitor and we'd just get chills.
Yeah.
We were like, this is so good. Like, she's so good. And she said, I just love this character. I love her. And I think that really comes through in the writing.
He does things with expression and just a look.
Mm-hmm.
It's so clever, and the performance is fantastic.
She's brilliant too, because she is a good Christian lady. Like Maria,
she's a cantor.
She's a cantor in Catholic churches, and bless her heart, like, she dove headfirst into this. She's not particularly into horror.
No one is.
Wouldn't think
no
she
one
would
in the
be
cast.
being a cantor.
No.
Nope.
No, I know.
The only people in the cast that were into horror were us. John R. Smith Jr., who plays Robert,
the guy
he
with the
loves
limp.
horror. Everyone else was like, and Corey.
Yeah.
But everyone else was like, no, I don't like horror.
I'm not really. So sweet Maria, there's a scene where Maria has to be around a lot of blood. And between takes, Maria would sit in a chair with her eyes covered because the blood was the sight of this fake blood was really getting to her.
That's
and it was
adorable,
just like,
though.
and then, yeah, totally. And then, like, we're ready to go, and she stands up and she like marches over to the blood and she's doing her thing. And God bless that woman. She is fantastic, and everyone was like that.
And I gotta say, Alexander Platt, who plays Freddy, I rarely ever talk about his performance. His performance is stunning. Like, we saw him and we were like, all right, well, that's Freddy. Like, we watched like 5 before, and then we try to respectfully watch everyone's tape that's submits, but his was like, that's him. You know, he just got it. And
Yeah.
he delivers a monologue at the end of episode 2 about the horses that just, I'm like, what are we watching? Like
Yeah.
when we were watching it in the monitor, I'm like, what are we watching? This is like really good.
Yeah. And you see him like looking around as he's giving this monologue, and you can tell he's seeing
Well,
these memories he has.
he's got a very pivotal role, you know? I mean, because that's how we're kind of immersing ourselves into the town along with Tessa. It's through him, and you know, we're kind of like, are we with you or are we not with you? You know, and he just draws you in. I mean,
Yeah.
actors are phenomenal. I knew that because it was low budget and an indie feature, I knew that you most likely had to go non-union, but boy, did you just knock it out of the park.
Thanks.
That's Matthew Maisto, and
Yeah.
you know Dennis's connections with Katrin and Corey and
and the
Tasso.
script, and I think the direction. Bethany's an incredible actor's director, and that's why we co-directed this. Is because when we were faced with how we had to do it, and what little resources we were going to have, I said, you got to co-direct.
Okay.
You're not going to star in it, because she was going to star in it as Tessa. But then we went non-union. I said, well, you're jumping on board. You're going to direct this thing with me. I was like, I'm not doing this by myself. That's crazy.
Well, you both crushed it. You both crushed it. I
Thank
want to
you.
tell you something funny real quick, just because of what
Yeah.
you said. So I interview a lot of people and I interview a lot of actors, and I would say that about 99.5% of the time, I ask them, what's your favorite horror movie? Because they're starring in a horror movie and they're like, oh, I hate the genre.
Isn't it funny?
It's great.
Like, okay.
It's great because I think they actually bring their fear, like, because they're like, oh, like I have to look at this, like,
Yeah.
oh no, you know.
And,
it-
yeah, and
it,
we were like,
works
don't
for
don't be in a horror movie. Be in
this movie.
be in this show. Be
Yeah.
in this reality. Because when you are faced with horrors, you're not in a horror movie. You're just living your life.
And that's what the interestingly
Well said.
enough, yeah, we were talking about Sinister. That's what the director said to Ethan Hawke, because Ethan Hawke was like, I don't want to be in a horror movie. He's like, then don't be.
Don't be. Yeah.
Then don't be in a horror movie. Be in a movie.
Yep.
And that's how I think every actor should approach
Totally.
horror. Is like,
Totally.
then don't be in a horror movie.
And that's why Maria was so good at Betsy, because even though Maria is this sweet, giving, wonderful, family-oriented, maternal figure, she absolutely understood everything Betsy was doing. She knew her reasons for it. They were justified. She saw what was happening and she believed in it. So it's like, there was no judgment at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose that's a bit of a spoiler, sorry. But like, there was no judgment whatsoever. And that's what you
All
got
of
to
those
do.
performances, I mean, they just build the world, they welcome you in, and then they scare you to death. They really do. This is a scary show. Let's just,
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
the fact that you landed on Screambox, I'm overjoyed that that's where you are. I think, and Tony knows this. Tony and I just met a couple of months ago, because I just happened to put a post on Instagram saying, I don't know who's in charge of curating on Screambox, but they're killing it. And then Tony reached out, and then
It's me.
and then here we are.
Yeah. That's awesome. He's a great curator. I always say he makes great mixtapes.
Yeah.
He's so
Yes.
good at programming back-to-back stuff that you're like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's just
Now
someone
you're the
who
deep
loves
cut on
movies.
that mixtape. That's my favorite song. How about that?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Great home for you. Okay. I felt pretty comfortable when I turned my camera on and I saw your set that I wasn't going to get the response of I hate horror.
We love horror. Oh, we love horror. Yeah.
I'm going to save it for my last question. I want to dig in a little bit more on Tessa, but I do want to know some of your favorite horror films, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of
So
course.
Get,
Yeah.
get to
Yeah.
thinking now. But okay, so we have Tessa. It's on Screambox. I do my research before I talk to the creators and the directors. It is getting phenomenal reviews. I will be one of them as well. So I'll add.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I feel like it's really landing. I have the question for you is: are there any plans to maybe dig further into the world, or any plans to do anything further on Screambox, which would delight me? Either one.
We would love to.
We would love to.
It
Yeah.
unfortunately and yes, so I have several ideas. I would like to go in two different directions, but
Okay.
but if possible, I think, and I hope this doesn't spoil too much.
I can
I'll
take
say
it out
this.
if it does. Don't worry about it.
I don't think it will. I think Tessa will go on to have other adventures.
I would love that.
I know.
Right.
And each season I would like to be a different subgenre of horror.
Oh, Dennis, if you don't do this, I'm going to be so
I
mad
know.
at you. And Bethany,
So-
I'm yelling at you now, too.
Holding him to it.
And then because so many people are like, but Lowry, like so many people want to dig into Lowry. I'm like, right, Tessa can't stay in Lowry. Why would she? You know, like there's no you got to
Yeah.
have her go and be a detective somewhere else. So I have an idea to go back and tell prequels about Lowry in either a completely different series or 2 standalone movies. So I have big ideas.
All right.
It depends on if we can. It's not up to us,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
If I call them our benevolent overlords at Screambox, if they, are interested, we definitely have ideas.
We have ideas,
So,
yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Well, let's try and make as big a bonfire for people as possible. I know I'm just a little piece of kindling, but I'm going to happily jump on board.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love this world. I personally, because I lived with Tessa for 9 months of editing in this room, sleeping on this floor to get the show done. Like there's a lot of sacrifices, but like I feel very connected to Tessa, and I want to continue to tell their story because they're such a fascinating character, and I'm like, there's so many more adventures they can have as this detective of the supernatural and the weird.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I get so excited, and I know, I kid with myself. Joke for one. That
I do the same thing. Don't worry. I make myself giggle all the time.
you'll know I bring a lot of like theater kid energy, never having been a theater kid, but I bring a lot of theater kid energy to horror. And I see something like The Trouble with Tessa, and I get insanely excited about it because I see the potential. I appreciate you get what you get and you don't get upset. I loved The Trouble with Tessa. Loved every single episode. I am going to make sure everybody gets their little peepers on it. But I get so excited about the world that you've both created and the possibility to continue that because I really do feel like you have something so original here, which is kind of steeped in a lot of the great horror tropes that we know and love. And you have lovingly done your own thing with it. And it's everything that you want because you hit all of those great notes. It's scary, it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's endearing, it's all of those things. So it's a complete package. So,
That's so, and that's so kind, and thank you. There's a fear when you're making something that doesn't come out for a while. You're not in front of a live audience, so you don't know how people are going to respond, and so there's it's a scary thing, but what all of us were saying from the beginning of developing the show was we just are going to make the show that we would want to see, and that's what they always tell you to do. And so it was just like, what do we love? Well, we love found footage. We love lore. We love creepy folk tales and fairy tales. We love urban legends. We love Stephen King. We love cozy mysteries. We love David Lynch, like all of that stuff.
And
we love
Fincher.
David Fincher.
Yeah.
So it was like, let's just put all of those things together and create something new out of it. And it's just so incredibly thrilling to see other people like it because gosh, we worked so hard on it and we love it so much.
Yeah,
and
I'm sorry.
No, please. Yeah, I'm just rambling now.
I'll say this. What's amazing is that I've seen this little groundswell for Tessa come up. We just got our first Rotten Tomatoes review and it's positive. Thank God. It's a tomato. Thank goodness.
you earned it though.
Thank you.
I know that
Thank
you're
you.
like, oh, phew, but you earned it.
Yeah. Thank you.
But we didn't we sort of like and Screambox did as much as they could with our little show, in terms of promoting it, but we weren't like in every magazine. We weren't weapons level of like everyone's talking about the show. But since its release, we're still sitting at number 2 in the top 10 on Screambox, which is insane. I thought we'd be gone after like the first week. We're still there. People are still talking about it and people are still discovering it. And I think it's a testament to take a risk on original material, especially if it's genre, because people will watch it, and we've developed, or it's developed this little fan base of people that are like, love the show. And I'm like, this is
People
what,
are craving it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what it's all about. And we're so excited because that's what we set out to do. We wanted to make something that was original where we could sort of prove, no, people do want original stuff. It just has to be written well. And
Yeah.
and it can't be a second screen show. You got to like give people something to watch, And I think that's the most beautiful thing that's come out of all of this is that, yeah, it's somehow just sticking around,
Yeah.
And every day someone hears about it and is like, I like this show, so.
I may be naive, but I'm not surprised at all. You both brought up a perfect point, which is this is new. This is new. I mean, sure, you do have a lot of the things that we know and love from horror, but this is a completely original creation and voice. And horror fans are, and I shouldn't say horror fans, people who appreciate great TV and film and books. They're looking for that original voice. They're craving something that they haven't seen before. And this is it. The Trouble with Tessa is it.
That's awesome.
I just want more.
We do too.
Well,
we do too. We have a lot of ideas. And I will say this, just to piggyback on what you're saying. When I started making films, I started making, dramas, and I was like kind of delving into that world. And I was always a horror fan. Like every movie I would put on after a long day was a horror movie. And like I had this long history with horror, Bava, Halloween, everything you could possibly imagine. You grow up, you watch all the Nightmare on Elm Streets and everything. But I never realized how ingrained it was in my filmmaking DNA. And when we made our first horror short, Lonely Hearts, and we brought it to a festival, I was like, these are the people I want to give my movies to.
Yeah.
Horror fans. They're the best because they're the ones that actually are going out and paying for original stuff. They're the only paying audience for original material.
Couldn't
And
agree
it's
more.
wonderful that they're like, I don't care. I'll take a shot on it. I'll watch it if it's on Tubi. What is it on? Vubu? I'll watch it. Phoebo with ads. I'll fucking watch that shit. And they give it a chance. And then you discover these great movies like Butterfly Kisses was a movie that I found out through the horror community. And I was like, yo, that movie's awesome.
Yeah.
It's flawed, but it's awesome.
But it's awesome. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Great.
I was like, that is an awesome movie. Like it does what Tessa does. It takes you in all these different directions until you're like, wait, what am I watching? This is so cool. It's a documentary within a documentary, and then it's about a documentarian. This is all like it's such a great weaved story.
Clever and original. And it's
Yes.
just like The Trouble with Tessa. It's clever and it's original.
And there was something too that was so important to us, which was we wanted people to be rewarded for watching it a second time,
Yes.
or for watching it really closely. And so
And a third and a
and
fourth.
a third,
There's
yeah.
so
So,
much
like,
in there. Yeah.
every time people have questions, a lot of people want to know, who is the Bone King and all of this stuff. If you go back and you watch and you listen and you read, especially episode 2, Microfiche, if you're pausing your screen and you're reading every single article that you can see on
It's
screen,
there, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all there.
You're going to find, if not specifics, you're going to find clues that let you start to piece together what this story is. If you're listening to the tapes that Tessa is listening to, as Tessa's doing other things that are distracting you, you're going to figure it out. We did an interview. It was like the first interview we did. One of the hosts guessed the entire show's story just by reading the articles in episode 2. They hadn't seen anything else. And we didn't tell them they were right, but like they figured it out because they dug into it.
Yep.
And we know someone who watched it 5 times to like get everything. And like that's fun.
That's fun.
Like we all have our comfort things that we put on in the background that you've seen a million times. And I want Tessa to be that for people and to have them continue to pick out a piece of dialogue or glance over and see something in the background that they didn't realize was important.
Yeah, and I think that like our naive joy of making the show and being like, yo, let's put all this stuff in that you got to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly was like, no one's going to give a shit. And everyone gave a shit. And I was like, see, it's like, it's just because if you make a show or a movie with joy for it and the excitement for it, people will follow, you know?
It comes off the screen. I see how much fun that you all had. I really do. I mean, I watch so much stuff that you can pick up on it. You know when you watch a film and you're like, nobody had a good time there. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I see so many of those where I'm like, oof.
Yeah. And I almost feel bad. I'm like, ooh, that looked like a real tough shoot, you know?
Yeah.
Dude,
This is the
yeah.
polar opposite. Okay. I'm
Okay.
going to ask you to, all right, I'm going to ask, Bethany, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Your favorite two horror films.
Okay. Okay. God, if you asked me yesterday and if you asked me tomorrow, they are different answers. But I'm going to say.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go a good one, and I'm going to go one that's going to make people question my horror card. So.
No judgment.
Okay. Promise?
Promise. No, actually, I take that back. I'm totally going to judge you.
We're
He's
about to get
quietly judging.
real bitchy in here. I'm going to say The Thing, the 1979,
In 1980, 81, or 82, 1982.
The Cusp. The Thing, because I love winter horror. I love isolation horror, like The Black Coat's Daughter. I love that, like, we're all trapped and it's winter. The Lodge is another one that's like that vibe. And then I'm going to say Clue, the movie.
No judgment.
horror,
It's
though.
fantastic.
So it's not technically horror, but it was a movie I saw far too young, and it does involve people being stabbed and shot in the head. And I was so scared and so intrigued at the same time. And so that was really the first time I realized I loved these scary things. So,
Bethany, I want you to stop apologizing for that to anybody from this point forward. You don't know how many times I hear The Last Unicorn, Return to Oz, Black Hole. You know, like
Black Hole's great.
Oh, Black Hole's great.
Black Hole's
No,
great. That
Clue?
ending.
Clue all day long.
Okay, thank you, friend.
All right, Dennis.
Man, this is so tough. Okay, so I think like at this point in my life right now,
In this second.
that's what I'm gonna say. I know this is gonna be really weird and everyone's gonna be like, that's not a horror movie, but I do consider it. Seven is my
It's
favorite.
a horror movie. No,
That's a horror movie. Rob Bottin did the effects. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because it's so well crafted. That is the most well crafted, horrifying.
That's a
movie.
horror movie.
That's a horror movie
Yeah.
to me. And and then of course, like my absolute, like, one of my all times is Haunting of Julia with
Yeah.
Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow. Oh, I was going to say it is a deep cut. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and then like going down the line, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, and then Black Sunday. Like those are like, but those two right now in my life, I never realized like how much I love The Haunting of Julia. Just the cinematography, the performances. It's so morose, and it's such a brown movie. Like that 70s brown. The score, everything. It's such a moody, foggy movie. I love that movie so much.
Now, Dennis, as a cinematographer, do you dine out on that, like that grainy film stock?
I love it. I love it.
And I shouldn't call it grainy, because it's not like you watch it and you're like, oh, this is like, I can't even. It's so beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It just captures things that we don't get now. And not to put the boots to how we film nowadays, everything is so crisp and like you see everything. I mean,
Right.
Heaven forbid.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I think I'm the same way. I'm like, oh my crow's feet. Oh no.
Oh no.
But I think people are craving that. I mean, when you go to the cinema and you watch something on the screen and you see those little dancing dots, like we saw Sinners like 4 times. I've seen Sinners 4 times, and seeing that shot in all its beautiful, dirty 35 millimeter glory, it brings you to a different place.
Yes.
It's a different medium. It's like you're watching something that's actually alive, you know?
Yeah.
And real and tangible. And you can actually hold that film in your hands. It's not on a hard drive. You can hold the negatives and be like, here is the canister that it lives in. It's alive. It lives in this, and I have to keep it refrigerated so it doesn't rot, you know? And like that to me is the most permanent way to make a movie. Like it's so, I can't wait to do it one day, or like actually like have enough money to get Tessa printed on 35 and have a 35 millimeter print of it, you know, just to see it like that would be an absolute joy as a filmmaker. So I love that more and more filmmakers now that are putting out movies are like, we're shooting this on 35, you know, and the equipment has gotten so much better that you could shoot more accurately. You could shoot a bit easier, you know, the monitors are better, and it's like nothing I've ever seen before film. I can't wait to shoot on it one day.
Well, and there's something. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please, Bethany, go.
There's something that is is not unique to Dennis, but is more unique. I think not a lot of filmmakers do this. Whereas Dennis shoots the edit that's already in his head, and there are other filmmakers obviously who do that, but because Dennis has had to always do everything himself, both photography and filmmaking, he edits it, he knows what he needs to shoot, and time is, you know, not wasted because we're not getting these extra shots that we don't need. We're getting coverage and we're getting multiple takes, but we're not going to shoot something just to have it. And I think with digital, you can shoot as much as you want because it's digital. But with 35, you have to be judicious. And
which makes you, and it makes you a more intentional filmmaker.
Exactly.
Everything in Tessa is intentional. So, you know, when you're working with someone who doesn't understand that and they're like, well, just shoot everything. You're like, no, we're going to shoot this because that's what we need. And that's all we need. And we don't need to muddy up the hard drives with anything else, really, you know?
It's smart filmmaking. It really is. I could honestly talk to the two of you all day long.
You want to come over? We logged on and I liked you instantly.
Yeah. I told Bethany, I was like, wait, do you mean Sean, man? He's great. I was like, he's so great.
First of all, I was like, oh God, I have to whiten my teeth because your teeth are like stunning.
It's the ring light. It just catches it. I'm telling you, they're not. They're like, I have Irish teeth. They're horrible.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but I'm going to get a lot of McMullins and McRoberts and O'Shaughnessy.
Oh, God. He's got a case of Irish teeth. Oh, no.
Yeah. I could talk to you guys and I want to have you back. I'm going to wait until I stop recording and then I'm going to make you do fun things with me. That sounded weird.
No. We're happy to do fun things off camera.
Yeah.
Wink.
I absolutely will shout all over town. I am, the megaphone is only so big with Macabre Daily, but honestly, we get in front of a lot of eyes and a lot of people that truly love horror and appreciate horror. The Trouble with Tessa is going to get a fantastic review. This interview is going to go out. I am just going to try and keep the fire burning. You're number 2 on Screambox. Let's just keep it going. I honestly will do everything in my power to get more of The Trouble with Tessa because it is fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. We're so grateful. And like Macabre Daily is one of my favorites. So being here is an honor, man. Like it's so surreal to like actually be on a few things like that we've been on where I'm like, I can't believe we're doing the show.
We're talking to the person.
So for us,
I'm not crying. You're crying.
You're crying.
I'm literally
Bethany
crying.
literally is crying.
No, we're just so floored that you make something and then people give a damn about it and that sort of has blown our minds. And
we just hope we continue to get the freedom that was given to us with this first one, because we had final cut of this.
Amazing.
So this is truly and kudos to Screambox for giving us that. If we can get that agreement going, because that's why it was so good. There wasn't a lot of meddling. And when there's not a lot of meddling, some people need meddling. Others don't, and we weren't immune to notes. We took a lot of notes,
totally.
and we edited a lot of stuff down that I was like, yeah, that is better.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if we were like absolutely not, they were like, okay,
It was incredible.
And that's
That's
the reason
impressive
why
as hell, honestly.
I know. And that's the reason why it's connecting though, is because like it does ultimately have to be the vision of the showrunners. It shouldn't be like 17 people in a room making a show.
Yeah.
No, and then you can always see that end product. You can always see the meddling.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah, you could see it clear as day.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's the voiceover that was ordered because no one thinks that you're going to follow the plot.
Right.
So all of a sudden there's just this like massive voiceover that's just going over and explaining everything. And you can tell it's studio note. And they just, they were incredible. And they just said, yeah, like you're doing it for a low budget. You get to have final cut.
Right.
That's awesome.
There are none of those fingerprints anywhere near Tessa. None of them. Yeah, it's such an original voice, such an original creation. Yeah, I just look. I've been gushing now for 45 minutes. And honestly, I will not stop. I promise the two of you. I will do my damnedest just to keep this in front of people's eyes and keep it going as long as we can.
Thank you,
Thank
Sean.
you,
Thank you very
truly.
much. And to everyone at Macabre Daily, thank you. Like, that's insane.
Well,
awesome.
The Trouble with Tessa, it's on Screambox. Dennis Cahlo, Bethany Watson, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm not even going to say, maybe we'll speak again someday. Oh, we will.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm going to make sure of that.
You're coming to our house.
I don't know why I made it sound so threatening. I adore the two of you. Bye, gang.
Bye.